Munich, Germany, January of 2009. Steve Dispenza has just finished his second liter of German beer. As the booze rushes to his head, like the small crowd gathering at his table, he has no idea he's about to be f***ed up abroad.
I had been traveling around Europe with a tour group, mostly younger kids. By the time we got to Germany, they knew I could handle my booze. I guess I just wanted to see how far they could push me.
Steve thinks his night is over, when suddenly a third leader appears at his table.
I remember looking at that leader and being like, no way. I'm a drunk, not an idiot.
But the peer pressure would prove to be too much for Steve.
They were egging me on. I was still saying no. Then this guy looks me directly in the eye and says, "Dude, there is no way you could scull a third beer."
I knew it was a bad idea, so I went to the bathroom to think it over. After that, I felt this wave of confidence, like I could do anything. I had broken the seal, but my determination was holding strong.
Steve stuns onlookers as he returns to the table and begins to gulp his third liter of beer.
It went down easy at first. I figured if it got to be too much, I could just stop.
But Steve was about halfway through his beer when this drinking binge suddenly takes a turn for the worst.
I had finished about half the beer when my stomach felt completely full. And that's when it started.
Just when Steve thinks he can take no more, the crowd begins chanting his name.
Steve! 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 Steve!
Once you have a room full of people chanting your name, you can't stop. No one could have stopped.
With every fluid ounce causing him more and more pain, Steve struggles through the most difficult drink of his life.
I literally felt like I was going to burst. I'm not a doctor, but I'm sure those last few drops were quite dangerous.
As Steve finishes the last drop, the crowd goes crazy.
For those brief few moments, it was totally epic. It was like I was on top of the world. Then it all came crashing down.
In the middle of the frenzy, Steve's stomach decides to make him pay the price.
It was just a little bit of foam, but it was enough. It turned one of the coolest moments of my life into one of the lamest, the most pathetic.
As the crowd voices their disapproval, Steve Dispenza has just been f***ed up abroad.
It was awful. It was embarrassing. And it was shameful. I didn't even know what to do with myself after that. I've never told anyone this, but it was at least a half hour before I was able to drink again.